It's Ash from Super Videos, back with another video for the Walking Dead universe. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an interesting theory that's gaining some traction that has to do with a potential epic team-up between Victor Strand from Fear the Walking Dead and Daryl Dixon from the original show, and also from the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon spin-off. Let's set the stage for this fan theory that might actually shake up the Walking Dead universe in a major way. This is a crossover we didn't see coming. Picture this. Strand's got a new German family, right? And they're hearing rumors about a boat to Europe. Could this be their ticket to a new life and a potential encounter with Daryl Dixon in France? Stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. Now, let's stare in some more drama into it. Some Morgan drama. Of course, at this point, the only connective tissue between Strand and Daryl's backgrounds and their story is Morgan Jones. So Strand, name-dropping Morgan's name, could do a lot in connecting their stories in a more believable way. But how could that happen? Imagine this. Strand finds a note from Morgan, or maybe they run into someone who knows Morgan's legacy, or maybe Strand just brings up Morgan in conversation, not thinking much of it. This connection could bring Daryl and Strand's paths together in a way that feels right, not forced. Now back to Strand and his family. Imagine Strand's family making the big decision to head to Europe. It's risky, full of unknowns, but it's also a thrilling storyline filled with suspense. What challenges would they face on this voyage? How will they navigate the dangers of the open sea? Of course, they're gonna have to be very careful how they tell this story so that it's not forced and is believable. They managed to make it work for Daryl, even though that was also a bit of a stretch, but they can't reuse the same thing, especially since we already know that Carol is also going to head to France in a similar way as Daryl. Now, when it comes to where would this story be told, it could be either an episode in a future Tales of the Walking Dead season, or it could be a miniseries for Strand. Depends on what they want to do and how they want to make it work. Obviously, it won't be something that we're going to see in like the second season of the Daryl Dixon or even the third season or anything like that. So it's going to have to be something that's more a couple years from now in the future. Now let's talk a little bit about what would happen if this team up happens. As Daryl and Strand find themselves in Europe, think about the dynamic they would bring. Daryl, the rugged survivor, and Strand, the sharp strategist. They could either form an unlikely but formidable alliance or find themselves at odds, given their differing morals and survival methods. Imagine this. If Strand goes back to his old ways and we begin to see the darker side of Strand again, we could potentially see Strand forming an alliance with the group that's got a lot of power in Europe, especially France. That group being Jeanette's group. Imagine the possibilities. Imagine if there's the story where Strand volunteers to go hunt down the American, Daryl Dixon. How crazy would that be? But let's go deeper. What if their collaboration leads to uncovering some of the biggest mysteries of the Walking Dead universe, like new threats, unknown aspects of the outbreak, perhaps even hints about other key characters' fates? For example, given Strand's backstory in Los Angeles and Daryl's backstory in Atlanta and the CDC, there could potentially be some crazy and interesting back and forths about their past and the things they witnessed as far as the initial days of the outbreak, or even some reveals about some characters' fates, like Morgan Jones, like I said, or possibly some reveals about Strand's knowledge of the CRM, which could tie into Daryl's journey and his quest to find Rick. And here's another thought. The tension between Daryl and Strand. They're so different. Daryl is all about loyalty and doing what's right, while Strand, he's more pragmatic, a survivor in a different sense. Could they really work together, or are they destined to clash? Even if Strand doesn't get into this, being Daryl's enemy, they could naturally become enemies because of how different they are. So what's your take on this theory? Will Daryl and Strand end up as allies in the post-apocalyptic Europe? Or is this just too wild to happen altogether? Drop your thoughts and theories in the comments and let me know what you think about the possibility of the two of them crossing paths and all of the different things that could come up as a result of their paths crossing. As always, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.